welcome to the channel. I'm Dayan and I create videos about travel, solo travels, visa application journeys, solo traveling hacks, and now we are discussing my adjustment of status here in the United States because I got approved in my green card application in 58 days. Yes, 58 days. Green card application approved. Nice feeling to do a sit-down video again because I think the last one was still the Canadian tourist visa application about 9 months ago, which I have made a lot of friends in because a lot of my followers, subscribers, turned friends reached out to me and told me that my video has been very helpful in their journey, and I'm just so thankful. I'm grateful, and it feels nice that my video helps a lot of people in their application journey. So here I am again. I want to share with you guys how I got approved for my green card application in less than 58 days. Disclaimer, I am not a travel agent, nor I am affiliated with agency or on any other agency or any agency at all. This is just speaking purely based on my experience. So let's start to discuss it. To all you guys who are K1 visa filers, CR1 visa filers, tourist visa wanting to adjust status here in the US, this video is for you. So ano nga ba ang adjustment of status? Adjustment of status is a process through which certain non-immigrants, such as those individuals having temporary visas, visit visas, tourist visas, and student visas, can lawfully apply to be a permanent resident in the US. So, yung mga merong tourist visa dyan na pumunta dito sa United States, or yung mga KR1, which is the fiancé visa, or the CR1, which is the spousal visa, hindi lahat doon nagtatapos yung process kung gusto niya talaga manirahan dito sa United States. After those K1, CR1 visa, kailangan yung mag-adjust ng status. That's why it's called adjustment of status, and that's what we're gonna talk about in our video today. So the first thing that I want to discuss with you guys is my background. From the moment that we got engaged, planned a Philippine wedding, to me visiting the US, and how we thought of getting married here in the US, our wedding, and how we decided to file for adjustment of status. So, my husband and I were in a long-distance relationship for 7 years. So, we dated since late 2016, and we've been in a long-distance relationship for 7 years. And last 2023, March 2023, he proposed to me in the Philippines. 4 months after the proposal, we decided to fly to Boracay to do an ocular inspection for a proposed place that we want our wedding to be held. It's in Shangri-La, Boracay. So if you want a full review of an ocular inspection of the Shangri-La Boracay in the Philippines, I'll link it down in the description box also, or here, so you'll have an idea how much is it and what the Shangri-La Boracay looks like in your wedding day, or what will you expect on a Boracay wedding with Shangri-La. So we got engaged March 2023, and in October 2023, we flew to Boracay for the ocular inspection, and October 14, 2023, I flew to the US for vacation. So I came to the US as a tourist. So I have a 10-year multiple entry visa for the US, and as a non-resident alien, or those people who are not a resident nor a citizen of the United States, at least for Filipinos, we can stay in the US for less than 180 days, no more, or 6 months. So before that expires, you have to go out of the United States, otherwise you're going to be overstaying. But initially, I had a ticket to go back to the Philippines 2 weeks after I arrived. Then, I ended up staying more than the date I intended to go back because the fall, autumn season just amazed me, and then it was very close to the holidays, Christmas and New Year, and then it snowed. I wanted to see snow again because the last time I saw snow was 5 years ago in Japan. Not that it's very important, but I'm just stating the facts that what led us to staying more than what is intended. Around January, I started to tell my fiancé that I kind of want to live here already, and if there's some way that we can just get married in the US. And so we researched, and on research we knew that you can now lawfully apply for adjustment of status after meeting a certain number of days in the US, even for tourist visa. So in my case, I was already here for over 90 days, and so we decided to just get married in the New York courthouse, which again I made a video about. I will link in the description below. I already shared how much it cost to get married in a New York courthouse. I'll link it in the description box below. But yes, we got married on February 29, 2024, which is over 90 days. But before getting married, of course, we did an extensive research on our own because the adjustment of status filing is not easy, guys. It's not easy, and it's not inexpensive. It is very expensive. So we had to make sure that our research and what we're going to do is clear, correct, and no mistakes, because we don't want to waste our effort, our time, and of course our money. When we finally had the 80% confidence to do that, we then pick a date for our wedding, which is February 29, 2024. So again, just to be clear, my pathway was a lawful tourist visa incoming to the US, meeting a certain number of days required for adjustment of status, and doing the process of the adjustment of status itself. So not unlawful to do it, guys. It is actually stated in the immigration site of the USCIS who can apply for adjustment of status. Even student visas here, they do that. Well, I cannot speak for every student visa here in the United States, but that's what they usually do here. After some certain time that they have exhausted their student visa number of days, they apply for adjustment of status. That's what I did. The only difference is I am a tourist. They're on other visa here or lawful visa here in the US. So I am a tourist who came to the US, met a certain day requirement to be able to lawfully apply for adjustment of status. And what happens after our marriage? What is my status now? But still, I am a Filipino citizen and a Filipino resident. I am still a resident citizen of the Philippines and only be called a permanent resident here when my adjustment of status case is approved by USCIS. We discussed all that, the documents that we submitted, timeline, the supporting evidences, the fees, and some tips. Let's start discussing the documents we submitted. Again, I am reminding you guys, do your own research. Don't just base on this video. This video is just a guide or something to compare your journey with, because each case is not the same. Each case is different. So this video will be just a guide to your process if you are planning or if you are already in the process of preparing for documents. So let's start with the documents that we submitted. The documents that you're required to submit to the CIS are for your husband first. For your husband, he's required to submit I-130 or the petition for alien relative and I-864, which is the affidavit of support. So I'm going to show you guys a sample of the I-130 petition for alien relative because I'm already a relative, because we are already married. I'm already his spouse. That's why it's called I-130 petition for alien relative. So this is what it looks like. And the I-864 is the proof that your spouse or your sponsor has the capacity to support you. It's to show adequate means of financial support for you, since your spouse won't be allowed to work for as long as she is not yet allowed to work. What does that mean? It means that while your case is pending approval, the spouse applying for adjustment of status is not allowed to work, nor travel outside of the US. If you do that, your case is forfeited. So just don't do that. Again, for your husband, the documents that are needed from your husband is the I-130 or the petition for alien relative and the I-864 or the affidavit of support, which generally includes ITR pay stubs and statement of assets. And as for me, the spouse, I needed to submit these documents. Number one is the I-1485 for the application for permanent resident / adjustment of status. This was the longest form I've ever completed in my life. I can't already count how many times I double check, I triple check, I quadruple check. I don't know, I checked it 100 times just to be sure that everything I inputted there was correct. Because this is your application, it serves as your application form. So you have to state everything concisely about yourself. Here's what the I-485 or the application to register for permanent residence or the adjustment of status form look like. So again, guys, do your research before you input anything. If you guys have questions about how to fill a certain information in I-485 or I-130, because these are long forms, guys, I will make another video of it. We can fill it out together. But for now, we're gonna give a whole overview of the process, timeline, fees, and tips. Next thing that we submitted along with the I-485, I-130, and I-864 are I-131 or the advance parole and I-765, which is the employment authorization. They are concurrently filed. Sabay sila, guys. This is what they call the combo card, which means you are allowed to travel out of the United States while your green card case is pending approval, and you are also allowed the I-765 that allows you to work while your green card case is pending approval. I would really highly suggest for you guys to file for this, or even for me, I wanted to file the I-131 because just to back up in case of some emergencies in the Philippines. I can go out of the country, hopefully none, but in case of some emergencies that you have to go back to your home country, you can without forfeiting your green card case. So you might want to consider the I-131, although prior April 1, 2024, it had no fees when it is filed along with the I-485, but starting April 1, 2024, it already had a fee if you're submitting it along with the I-485. So we were very lucky that we were able to submit before April 1, 2024. Both I-131, advance parole, and I-765 or employment authorization had no fees because we filed it along with I-485. Last but not the least, included in the documents that we submitted to the USCIS for my adjustment of status is the supporting documents. So what are these? This has two branches. One is the supporting documents or the main supporting documents, which prove that the applicant, myself, is eligible for a green card application. And the second one is the secondary evidences to prove that you have a bona fide relationship with your sponsor. So let's discuss those things included in the main supporting documents. First and foremost, on the main supporting documents with my case, I needed to submit my I-94 or my record of admission as a tourist incoming into the US for verification as an alien individual. It's long, right? But it's just mainly a proof that you have a record of being investigated upon your arrival in the US. So In my case, I came here as a tourist, so I needed to submit that I-94. If you don't know how to get your I-94, here's their website. You just have to go to this website and then fill out some information, and you should be able to get your I-94. Then the next supporting document is your birth certificate to prove your nationality, mainly to prove your nationality. So proof of foreign spouse's nationality, which you can get in your birth certificate. So third one is proof of financial support, which is already included in I-864, but we still included it in the supporting documents. We submitted the federal income tax returns of my husband and pay stubs and certificate of employment. Also, we included a copy of our marriage certificate as part of the main supporting documents. So these are the things that are included in your main supporting documents: the I-94, the foreign spouse's nationality through the birth certificate, and the proof of financial support, or the ITRs and pay stubs and COE. Now let's go to the secondary evidences and the most dreading, tiring phase of this. Also, it's not as tiring as the forms, but it's also, it's also dreading to collect pictures, text messages for the last 7 years, just to demonstrate that our relationship is a bona fide one. And that is our pictures, photos, text messages, pictures with friends and families for the last 7 years. Yes, I compiled all that. It was so hard to compile all the photos and messages in 30 slides and input what are we doing in that photos, what's the occasion in that photo, what are we talking about in those text messages. It is dreading, but it is all worth it, you guys. Make it as clear as possible. So I'm gonna show you, if I still have it, I'm gonna show you here, guys, what I did for the photos and the messages that we submitted, or how I collaged it in Canva. I just made it in Canva, and then in every picture I put a description of the date, the place, the people who we are with, and the occasion. Yeah, 7 years congested in 30 pages. Let me run that out again with you guys. So the main supporting documents that we submitted as part of the packet for the main supporting documents is my I-94, or my record of submission, my proof of nationality, which can be seen on your birth certificate, federal income tax returns of my husband, pay stubs, certificate of employment, which is all part under proof of financial capacity, and marriage certificate as part to prove that our relationship is bona fide. And the secondary evidences are photos, videos, text messages, our engagement photos, wedding photos, and travels together, proof of joint assets or our joint bank accounts. We've also secured letters from our friends stating that they know us for the whole duration of our relationship and that our relationship is bona fide. So we asked 2 friends of mine and 2 friends of my husband's, and we all included that as part of the secondary evidences. Again, these are the rundown of the supporting documents that we submitted to the USCIS. Now let's talk about the fees. So as a March 2024 filer, we were so lucky to be able to submit the documents without the significant increase of prices of the forms or the application, because it really got expensive starting April 1, 2024. So if you're watching this and you're planning to submit your documents now, or of course April 2024 has passed, it's already very expensive from inexpensive application forms. I think it increased for over 40%. So it's crazy. I mean, it's already expensive to begin with, and they also increased it to be very expensive. But yeah, I'm gonna discuss with you how much we paid for my case. So as a March 2024 filer, we included a check in our packet meaning all those documents plus the check. We included a check of $1,760 for the adjustment of status papers, plus the permits to travel and to work here in the US. So the total is $1,760 prior to the fee increase since April 1, 2024, because it is already expensive to begin with, but then USCIS decided to increase it more since April 1, 2024. So again, we paid $1,760 as a March 2024 filer, and just a few day difference, it became a total of $3,005. That's $1,245 increase. Insane. It's insane. Yeah, we were so lucky that we were able to push it and file before the fee increase, because we would have spent $1,000 more. Just, I don't know what's the fee increase for, but it's the guideline or it's the rule, so we just have to follow. So if you are filing, if you are planning on filing, and if you're already in the middle of filing, or if you're already ready to submit your papers, double check, triple check, quadruple check your checks. Make sure that the amount is correct, concise, because I've heard a number of stories that they have their application rejected because of incorrect amounts. You might also want to research what is the best way to pay, because I've heard a lot of stories too with their credit cards flagging the $3,005 fee as fraud. So the USCIS not being able to get the payment from your credit card, they then reject it. So double check it again. I've also heard bad stories with the money orders. So in my case, we submitted a check. So double check on that. Just double check, triple check, quadruple check your submissions before you actually mail it to USCIS. These are the fees prior April 1, 2024, and the current fees as of May 14, 2024, date of the recording of this video. So again, double check your payments, your payment method, double check, quadruple check, 1 billion times check, because incorrect amount leads to a potential rejection. Now that we are done talking about my pathway, the documents, and the fees, we are now going to talk about the timeline. So I listed out everything here, and I'm just gonna read it to you guys. So you have overview of how long to expect it. I know it's a case-to-case basis, each case is different, but I got approved for green card in 58 days. And as of recording of this video, I am just now waiting for my green card ID to arrive in the mail, which is expected to be just 10 business days from approval, which is May 12, 2024. So it should be here before May 24, 2024. And yes, I got approved in less than 58 days. But yeah, let me read to you my adjustment of status timeline. So March 10, we submitted our papers. March 15, we received an email stating that our documents or our packet were received by the USCIS, and March 15 is our priority date. March 20, we received our notices, the I-797C for I-485, I-131, I-765, and I-130. We received all the notices for that. March 25, we also received in the mail the online access code. That code is used for your USCIS account, so you can track the status of your cases. March 27, we receive an email requesting for evidence. So what is this request for evidence? It's basically just a medical conducted by a civil surgeon. So if you don't have any idea about any accredited civil surgeon in your state, there is a site in the USCIS which gives you a list of all accredited civil surgeon in each state. So I'll just link it down also in the description box. And then April 2, I was scheduled for medical because I wanted it to be moving fast, so I wasted no time. I took the soonest available surgeon, which is April 2. I'll also link the, if you're someone from New York planning to adjust status also, I'm gonna link the details in the description box. And on the same day, April 2, I had to have additional vaccines because I have 2 vaccines that were not updated for the last 10 years, which is the Tdap and hepatitis B. I need to get that. That's easy because I just went to a CVS pharmacy and then they gave me a certificate. And on the night of April 2, I also received a request for biometrics. And on the same night, I looked for an appointment, the earliest appointment. And April 4, I got my biometrics taken just around the area here in New York. And I went back to the clinic on April 5 to get my RFE, or the request for evidence result. It's called I-693, or the medical exam. So be sure that you don't open the packet that the surgeon gives you, because you have to send that to your lawyer, or if you're doing it yourself, you have to submit it unopened to USPS or which courier you want to use. But the moment that I received my sealed I-693 or medical exam, I immediately went to USPS and then mailed it to USCIS. Excuse me. The same day, on the night of April 5, I got an email that my I-765 or my work permit got approved. It's just online approval. I have no notice yet, and best believe April 10 received the actual notice of I-765 approval in our mailbox. And April 23, 13 days after that, the I-765 case is closed, card was produced. 2 days after that, April 25, the ID came into the mail. I already got my I-765 ID, which means I'm already allowed to work. And May 11, today is May 14, 3 days ago, my husband's I-130 got approved. If you remember, I-130 is the petition for alien relative. That's the paperwork for my husband. It got approved, but mine didn't change. So it was weird. But then the day after that, May 12, my I-485 got approved May 12, 2024, just a day after my husband's I-130 got approved. And I don't know what happened with I-131. It's just what I know, that if you were given a standalone approval of the I-765, you have the least chance to get approved of the I-131 already, because I read a lot of reviews that they are not giving out much of combo cards anymore because the green card application takes faster than the combo card. So I think that was the case for me. So the I-131 didn't come in the mail. It's still actively being reviewed in my USCIS account, but then I'm already approved for my green card, so I don't think I need that still. But you got approved for green card in 58 days. And that's my timeline. I'll just let you know, guys, if there's any update on my I-131, but I doubt that I would need that because right now I'm just waiting for the green card ID to get into the mailbox. So yeah, that's it. We already covered my pathway, the documents that we submitted, some tips along the way in our discussion, and the fees and the timeline. And if you still have any other questions or you need me to help you guys with filling out the forms, I think I can do another video on that. So we both have our guides to look back to if we need some help. So yeah, I also post updates on my TikTok profile, so just follow me at Passport Diaries or at Diane Zerna on Instagram. I upload some real-time updates there, so you might want to check that out. But yeah, thank you for staying. If you've reached this far, thank you for staying and thank you for finishing this video, and I hope this will be helpful on your journey, and good luck to all of us, and congratulations in advance to all of us. Welcome to United States.